some Sidurim, a paragraph beginning with the words L'Shem Yihud is found before putting on the talet, and again before putting on tefillin. Some Sidurim also include a paragraph that begins with the words L'Shem Yihud before each prayer, meaning before Shahrit, before Minha, and before Arbit. And it is also customary for some to recite a paragraph that begins with the words L'Shem Yihud before counting the Omer. The origin of this custom is from the teachings of Rabbi Yitzhak Luria, otherwise known as the Arizal, a master of Kabbalah who lived in the land of Israel in the 16th century. This practice was also promoted by Rabbi Hayim Yosef David Azulai, who is commonly referred to as the Haidah. The Haidah was born in Jerusalem in the year 1724. Was it customary to recite L'Shem Yihud before prayers in Missvah and Halab? There is no mention of reciting L'Shem Yihud by Hakam Yosef Abadi Shayo in his book on the customs of Aram Soba. In fact, prior to putting on tefillin, he specifies that the verse from Tehillim that begins V'hi Noam is recited. However, those that do recite L'Shem Yihud recite it before reciting the verse that begins V'hi Noam. Furthermore, in the book Yishak Yiranen, Hakam Yishak Shehebar wrote that in Halab it was not customary to recite L'Shem Yihud before any Missvah, not before counting the Omer, and not before any other Missvah. The reason for not saying it would be because it's based on mystical teachings that could only be properly understood by those that are proficient in Kabbalah. Literally, it refers to unifying Hashem's name, so to speak, with the performance of the Missvah after the recitation of L'Shem Yihud. Since this paragraph is not intended literally, many would not consider appropriate for one who is not knowledgeable in Kabbalah to recite it at all. My rabbi and teacher, Hakam Shimon Aluf, Hashem Yibarechehu Vishmerehu, recalled being together with a group of young rabbis over 40 years ago, together with Hakam Yosef Ades Alav Shalom, who was born in Jerusalem in the early 1920s. It was time to pray Minha, and one of the young rabbis stood up to be the Hazan. He began by reciting L'Shem Yihud. Hakam Yosef Ades, who was proficient in Kabbalah, immediately stopped the Hazan, rhetorically asking him if he knows how to unify Hashem's name. So even though some communities have the custom to recite a paragraph beginning with the word L'Shem Yihud before prayers and Mizvot, based on the teachings of the Arizal and the Haidah, in Halab it was not customary to recite this paragraph. This is based on the idea that it should only be recited by those that are truly knowledgeable in Kabbalistic teachings and understand the meaning of the paragraph properly. However, it was customary by many to recite the verse from Tehillim that begins V'hi Noam before prayers and practicing Mizvot.